Oh, it's Elite 8 action! It's Final Fantasy Randomizer! We are live on Twitch! It's Speed Gaming 2, thank you for hosting us tonight! It's Game 2 in the best of 3, Elite 8. Left side of your screen, it's Tyerenex. Right side of your screen, it's Team Vorpal's leading member right now, SaintVonJester. Once again, this is Game 2. Joining me in the booth, to the left of me, it's Melee Wizard. Melee, tell us about what happened in Game 1.
It was a pretty close match all the way through. SaintVonJester decided to take a bit of a grind in Topher, and that largely made the difference, because Topher ended up being not that nasty of a place. We'll see how it carries on to this particular seed.
That was earlier, actually, today. A little bit of record keeping right now. It is June 1st, 2019. It's a beautiful Saturday evening, especially here in northern Michigan. Once again, it's the Elite 8. So let's take a look at the party makeup for both players right now. We know that a black belt was forced. We see that in the upper left-hand corner of each player's screen. But joining us also in the broadcast booth, it's the Baroness herself, Team Vorpal member, Lyra SRL. Tell us about the party makeup.
Hey everyone, good evening. As you can see, we always have a forced black belt for this particular round, but we also have what's called the first mate, which is a second forced, which this time ended up being a red mage, so a little bit easy for these runners here. The white mage is banned, unfortunately. I know. And both of them have chosen to go with a fighter, that's pretty standard, and then Tyerenex has a black mage, while SVJ has opted for another red mage. Super exciting between these runners. SVJ qualified from the last chance, the one person that did, and then went straight through in third place to the play-in race and got all the way this far. What an adventure for these two runners.
It's been quite the story. Tyerenex came through. Melee Wizard, he took on the defending champion, Edgeworth, in the Sweet 16. I see Tyerenex on my screen, and I don't see the defending champion. Great win for Tyerenex.
Yep, I took a look at the brackets, and we're actually looking at the 12 and 13 seeds in this tournament, and the winner of this round will take on the 1 seed. So 5-0, undefeated all the way through, Crab Cakes.
Oh, Crab Cakes, we'll get to her in just a little bit, because right now, it's time for action right here live on Speed Gaming 2. Both players headed into Canaria, Black Magic for Tyerenex, Fire 2 and Quake. There was a pro ring for sale in the armor shop. I didn't quite catch how much it was. I also saw Fog 2 in the 4th slot. That is going to be Red Wizard. Got to be promoted. Not a red mage, learnable. There's also a gold bracelet in the armor shop. And there was something else in White Magic. I missed it. They're going too fast. Wall in the 1st slot. Level 1. That's red mage, learnable. Tyerenex heads and finds the slab as the vendor item for really cheap. 5,000 gold, that's it. It's in the Canaria item shop, as well as tents. 68 gold, little expensive.
My goodness, we are finding everything here in Corneria. The pro ring, gold bracelet, and the vendor item are all right here.
Look at Tyerenex is headed directly towards that bridge, Lyra. He's taking on the imps. He's going to get a level here. But Tyerenex, with a play close to my heart, is he going to trigger the bridge sequence?
Might as well do it now instead of later, and not have to worry about coming back for it again. Chat's already pointing out that the 6k pro rings were right there, and then 31k for gold bracelets was pretty nice too, but it's pretty expensive for runners early on.
Yeah, definitely something to think about for later on. Not so much right now, because there's no way our runners will be able to afford it unless Topher has a heck of a lot of money in it.
From what I see on SVJ's side, he's on the right side of your screen, and Tyerenex just keeps getting encounter after encounter. This is a front-loaded encounter table. So the bridge strategy and triggering the sequence is really going to work out for Tyerenex here, what it looks like, because SaintVonJester just keeps resetting on his way to the Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, a little bit of XP here in the early going can make this initial Temple of Fiends dive a lot smoother. Not to mention having Fire 2 is also a very nice thing, because there's a lot of things in Temple of Fiends that are weak to fire.
Let's take a look at finally our first chest. So we're just past the 2-minute mark. It's a soft potion in the lower left. Tyerenex gets ambushed by a group of wolves, imps, and crimps, but they keep missing. SVJ's closing in. SVJ has lost Matt, the forced black belt, and he's been moved to the second slot. I don't think we're going to see Matt, or maybe Doormat, anytime soon. And he's going straight to Garland. Ooh.
A little bit of rat divergence early here. Opal Shield and 300 gold in the top chest, so not entirely great, but the Opal Shield will come on handy a little bit later.
SBJ fired 2 Quakes into Garland. They both missed and were ineffective. But SBJ saved outside. Resets, goes in, fires Quake, fell to crack. Garland is terminated at the 3-minute mark. Tyerenex has lost Dan. I can't imagine why he named his black belt Dan. In the Temple of Fiends, he's closing in. The King of Canaria hands over the ship. And Princess Sarah hands over the crown. So we've got some decisions to make, Melee.
The trip to Astos is definitely something that runners could do. Not sure if Quake strats would be as reliable there as they were against Garland. But...
Everybody loves some cake, though.
Yeah, but with that ship, getting around will definitely be a good bit easier.
So really the only difference right now is that Tyerenex was able to check the 3 chests in the Temple of Fiends. He's got an extra soft potion and a, I would think, sellable Opal Shield. As SVJ leaves, he's in a boat. He's headed towards Matoya's cave. He stops in the middle of the ocean and saves. He's going to check the 3 chests in Matoya. Should he like what he sees, he will walk it out. If not, he will reset and head towards the original Provoca town. Which Tyerenex does the same thing.
Yep, except Tyerenex is checking the Provoca location first.
Oh, Provoca over Matoya, a little bit of more route divergence. Oh, it's Lefane. Yeah. That is completely not useful to our runners anytime.
Oh, wow. Lazy Matoya?
That's free. Oh, she gave us a ribbon too. That's cute. Protects from everything as well, so that's definitely a huge blessing right there. It's so convenient.
I think that's the first time I'd ever seen Loose Crystal in Matoya's cave, and it ended up... Well, I mean, a ribbon's not a bad thing, but it's not progression.
Tyerenex, except his crystal, gonna hand that into Matoya. I mean, she is blind, so... Tyerenex!
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Here's your headgear. Tyerenex has not sold the Opal Shield yet. Maybe he forgot about it. You'll see that sometime soon. Saves outside of Matoya. He's back on foot. He's going to keep that ribbon and walk back towards his ship in his sailing vessel.
One potential reason why he hasn't sold that Opal Shield is he might be thinking for the future, because if we find that tail reasonably early, that's still good equipment, at least until we get the Aegis Shield, I guess, assuming we ever find that.
Unrunnable sausages here for Tyerenex. Fire 2 doesn't do a whole lot of damage against these things, and having to blast through multiple times just eats up those early spell slots.
Similar strategies, Melee. Both players have let go of that black belt, have the fighter in the lead. I like this play in this type of design. I think it's the right thing to do. 2.0 experience with the boost at the 15 key items. Would you do this as well?
Goodness knows I have run at certain points in this tournament. I have gone black belt. I'm a little disappointed that in the race that I've seen for this round of the tournament that nobody's actually gone full black belt. I understand why, because with the XP the way it is, the enemy percentages the way it is, it's not the best strategy. But I would think at least someone would have gone for it just for meme's sake or something.
So something I'm gonna note here, our lovely chat this evening, there are so many fun names in here. We have, of course, the almighty Crab Cakes, undefeated, the Princess of Conaria herself. Dangwoo is also quite here all the time. We also have a lot of good names in here. New people like Thundercloud, who practices these flags non-stop and is ready for tournament action coming up here soon. There's a lot of good names in here too. Like, it's just so good to see this crowd growing so much tonight.
Another new name in the crowd. Freight Train USA, welcome to the show. Great to see ya. I'm just a freight train coming your way. Tyerenex is, I believe, headed towards the Dwarf Cave and its 2 chests, potentially also Astos. SaintVonJester taking a different route. He's headed towards the original town of Elfland and its Shuffle Town. Let's see what that is, because it looks like both players hard reset, and this is a very front-loaded encounter table. So we're going to find that Gaia, the new Gaia, is located at the old Elfland.
It's also going to check to see which NPC we have here, since that is shuffled and it is vanilla. Just for those who are unaware, for the bracket stage, the 3 NPCs, the Elf Nurse, Dr. Un, and Bahamut, can potentially be shuffled amongst each other.
Yeah, we call those objective NPCs. They are shuffled. Who was that in Elfland Castle?
That was the Elf Nurse.
Okay. SVJ checked that out, got all that information, actually ended up resetting to his save in the middle of the ocean. He is not headed toward Astos in the Crown Turn-In. Tyerenex is. He has a chit-chat with the Astos, picks up the non-progression tail.
Very interesting. It's almost a shame that Bahamut wasn't at Elfland, because that... Can you imagine, like, a single-digit level tail turn-in? That would be cool.
Something that you both missed here, Tyerenex and SVJ is going to find it right here. The Thor Hammer super early saves so many resources. It's a great caster item for all of our runners, and even everybody out there in chat as well. That's very underutilized and under.
Melee, tell us a little bit about the Thor's Hammer to any players that might be new, or anyone watching maybe on YouTube that might also be new to Final Fantasy Randomizer on replay.
The Thor Hammer is one of a class of items that can be used during combat to generate a specific effect. The Thor Hammer produces Lightning 2 on command, which is, considering that we're going to be spending a lot of time out in the open ocean, that is huge. It's definitely a lot more effective than Fire 2 will ever be.
SaintVonJester is headed towards Northwest Castle. He's going to have a chit-chat with the kindly old king, finds out it's Astos. He's got his tail. He also checked out the original town of Melmond, and he found out that it was Onrak, of all places. Have we seen? Looks like Tyerenex and SaintVonJester have both bought their slabs at this point in time. No sign of Dr. Un. We have the objective NPC shuffle on as well. So, Lyra, you have all this information. You're at the 10-minute mark. Where are you going next, considering you have the Sail the High Seas theme and the ship of the water vessel?
I'd like a little bit more information, personally, so I would probably peek around to, say, Crescent Lake, maybe even, I don't know, Onrak? That would be a pretty interesting check as well. We do have what's called open progression on that's extended, so that means there's actually places to park at most of the major continents, so you can actually get access to some really good free items a little bit early on as well.
Yeah, I really like trying to find Provoca. I've been doing it all tournament until I got eliminated. As far as level 2 magic, and certainly a key item, should you be able to take out the pirates. Tyerenex heads to the Elfland Castle. He's just checking the NPC. He sees that it's the Doctor. He resets and moves on in his light warrior journey.
Yeah, there's really not much else that our runners can do right now. They can check the Crescent Lake location. They can check the Onrak location. What else really is there to check? Marsh? The first couple floors of Earth? Neither of them seem like... Runners tend to try to avoid those sorts of things if they can.
I don't know why, but yes, they definitely do tend to do that. So we have towns on the table, like Lyra said. We've got some dungeons potentially on the table, like Melee said. One thing that will happen in these flags is that there are at least 3, potentially 4, a very small percentage of likelihood of there being 4, loose items that are incentivized. Some could be non-required, such as a ribbon. Some absolutely required, and more than aren't. Certainly the cube, the chime, the mystic key. SaintVonJester is sailing the high seas, saving with his 24 tents, now down to 23. He's headed towards the town of the original Onrak, looking for that Baroka.
I like this play by SVJ here. And yes, we have indeed found one of our loose items already. That little crystal right there next to the cave. What a turn-in that was for both of these.
Yeah, it's interesting that we've already found a couple non-required incentivized items in the tail and our incentivized ribbon. think the only other items that aren't really required would be most likely the ruby and the opal bracelets.
Yeah, and that's Provoca. Lyra, you
Nailed
said
it.
you wanted to do this. This is what I would have done. SaintVonJester saved a little bit of ways away from OnRack. Unsaved pirates are on. They have a script list at least. That's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. Like
And-
a shadow,
oh,
and they have
there- Squint. Squint's not nice.
Squint is a death elemental single target attack. Doesn't
But-
matter for SVJ. He survives it. He has a chit chat with Bicky, a la Denwu. And he picks up the rod. Oh, I have information. Go ahead, Melee.
Yeah, I think we might be going in the same direction, but the rod is very significant here, in that a lot of the time we have the flag where the item at Crescent Lake at the Circle of Sages is free. That flag has been turned off for the bracket stage, so in order to get the item there, we will have to go through Lich, and as such, the rod will be required for it.
Okay, I've got a bit of information. We're at the 13.5-minute mark. Now, we talked about it in the opening. Tyerenex leads 1-0. This is a best of 3. The winner moves on to the final 4. You see a little chaos right underneath Tyerenex's screen, right by the tracker. That means he leads 1-0. I talked with SaintVonJester. I've been working with him throughout this entire tournament. And one of the plans that SaintVonJester has actually come to potential fruition. We discussed whether or not a rod came early, and if it did, which it has, to go mode the Earth Cave. It was a play that I attempted to use last round of the Sweet 16 against Lord Fizzlebeef, was not able to use it because the situation was not there. I expect right now SaintVonJester to potentially go directly towards the Earth Cave and actually go mode it, even with there being 2 loose items out there. We'll see what happens.
And one thing that was mentioned in chat, and I saw, we do have the Zozo Melman flag, so the desert tiles can have encounters. Dice have Death Touch.
Oh no, those tend to come in large groups too. This is gonna be fun for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
They can be found in the overworld, I believe. Ice Cave, Earth Cave, I want to say.
Earth Cave dive this early, it has a lot of chests in it, and you only have a couple casts of fire too, and then the Thor hammer. This is kind of a scary.
Yeah, and to clarify the whole go mode of Earth Cave that we talked about, there's a lot of chatter and chat going on right now, and the idea here is to dig deep into the Earth Cave and not necessarily do the out-of-the-way things. The freebies, sure, and the very late Earth Cave play should a canoe potentially be loose, because a canoe or a floater at this point in time really open up the game.
One could say it could even change the game.
Well, there's only one thing that can change the game, Lyra. Come on. Hey, Melee, you know what's going on with that, right? We all,
And
that's right, Jay,
SVJ
you know
has
what's
it
going
right
on.
there.
SVJ's on screen right there. We're talking about the game changer, by the way. The Vorpal Blade.
Which Tyerenex would actually be able to use right now, having found Bahamut at Melman and already did a class change. I think it was at level 7, which, yeah, that's about the fastest class change I've seen in a long time.
I did not expect this. Alright, Melee. This is not what me and SVJ talked about. SVJ is going to the Marsh Cave. Yeah, it's incentivized, but you need the Mystic Key to get the incentivized item. Is he gambling?
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Well-
Because in the Swiss rounds it was the crown chest, but now it's the far right keylock chest where the incentivized item is. So SaintVonJester is definitely taking a gamble coming here now without the key.
Lyra, I've got to think that having access to that rod early, that just screams to me, do the Earth Cave and do it deep. And look for that in order to progress in this game. That's just what it feels like it's telling me.
I've had
Honestly-
seeds tell me that too, and I've gotten burned by it. So
In the immortal words of Rob Van Dam, SVJ is playing the...
SVJ's going to the top of Marsh Cave first. Dealing with that encounter table, there's Cremate from some of the Tigers. Tyerenex resets. He's jumping back in his boat. We'll see if he goes to Earth Cave. Tyerenex gets ambushed by a shark and a red Sahag. SaintVonJester takes out, I believe that was a pack of undead, headed towards, again, the top of Marsh. 4 chests up here, one of them's linked. It's the bottom left chest. There's 5,000 gold. We're nearing the 20-minute mark. One loose item already found. It was a dud as far as progression goes. SVJ finds a stick.
Oh, wow. That's so convenient.
Gargoyles have X-Fur. For all the good that'll do.
Transfer is an amazing spell, but you're not going to live long
there's a
enough to
canoe!
have anything else with it.
Oh, wow! Wow.
Okay.
Gamble pays off! Gamble pays off huge!
SVJ made a move, and I've got to think that that was the right play. We don't know that 100% at this point, but SVJ now has the canoe in hand, and he's feeling the heat.
Yeah, and he's gonna fire it right back, too.
Yeah.
But, oh man, the having the canoe opens up a lot of things. It opens up the ice cave incentivized. It opens up the volcano with the armory. It opens up Castle Ordeals in that incentivized site location.
If
Ooh,
Tyerenex
boy.
goes Earth first and doesn't find anything, this could give SVJ a huge advantage.
Well, he's having a chit-chat with the elf doctor. Just wanted to have a chit-chat. That's all Tyerenex is doing. I've got to think he's in this area. He is not going to the Marsh Cave. He's saying what I was saying earlier, Melee, that it screams you gotta go to Earth Cave. It does, and I can't blame Tyerenex for making this play.
Naturally, you can't. This is definitely like the correct play to make 99% of the time. It may or may not be the 1%.
I mean, we did find the canoe loose in Marsh. It is definitely possible to have the floater or something that leads to the floater being loose in Earth.
Yeah, it definitely very well could be. This opens up a lot of things for SVJ. It opens up the incentivized main NPC of the robot in the waterfall. It opens up Castle of Ordeal and its incentivized location. It opens up the ice cave. It opens up the Kurgu volcano. So SVJ now, as much as he has taken the lead in this match, he's going to be the pace car and the pace player. He's got some decisions to make.
As much
as a canoe is a nice thing to have, sometimes it could... I wouldn't expect it from high-end runners like this, but it can lead to some indecision paralysis, like, where do I go, where do I go? And I think we're seeing an Ordeals play.
Here we go, big Rando versions right here. Tyerenex finally entering into Earth Cave as SVJ is definitely taking off.
And one comment made from chat, one potential reason why SVJ went to Marsh first. Maybe I don't know if SaintVonJester saw those Death Touch Geists. I know Tyerenex did. I'm not sure if SaintVonJester had, but if he did, that could definitely might have influenced him there.
SVJ
I know
has
that
not seen them.
in the round of 16, in the Sweet 16, SaintVonJester was a heavy underdog. Lyra talked about that in the opening here. He, coming in through the last chance qualifier, made it through the play-in race, and it was up against one of the elite players here, One Fine Day. And I know One Fine Day is here right now. And he made a huge move in Game 1 against One Fine Day, feeling he was outmatched. Made a play on the Marsh Cave. He essentially did it again, and it's working. So whatever he's doing, good on him. As Tyerenex has picked up an Aegis Shield in the first floor of the Earth Cave, and SVJ has entered Castle of Ordeal.
Speaking of that Aegis Shield there's an Opal Gauntlet right there on the first floor. Tyerenex has opted to toss the Opal Shield instead of selling it. Depending on the scenarios, this could come... Oh my.
Arachnids ablaze.
Blaze spiders.
That hurts.
Boy.
He's not going back to the Aegis Shield either.
He's got the information. He's looking for progression. Those Arachnids are going to show up on the next floor. They'll also show up on the last floor in huge packs.
There's the Georges, but nothing special there. Hi, spiders.
Blaze again from the tarantulas. Tyerenex
Oh
resets.
man, that hurts.
SaintVonJester maneuvering his way through the shuffled Castle of Ordeal's pillars. Tyerenex spinning his wheels just a little bit, gets a huge run in the encounter table. Maybe he has figured that out. SVJ gets ambushed by mummies and wizard mummies. It doesn't seem to have any spills or skills, but they can hit fairly hard.
Spills to pay the bills here for SVJ. See if we can get any of those casting items off. Oh no, there goes the fight.
Yeah, they're hitting pretty hard. Although SaintVonJester doesn't really have much for gear.
Melee, I've got to think, at the very least, Quake just hit an undead? Oh,
Yep.
They have legs. At the very least, get the information of knowing the pillars and the maze through if you need to reset, I would think.
And apparently, Earths have squint as well.
Now, seeing things with multiple casts of a certain skill, we refer to that as the Medusa strip. It's what happens when you see 3 or more casts of a different skill or ability. Squint may be it, but when you have things like the pro rings, the pro capes, stuff like that, it just falls off a little bit later on.
SVJ had to reset, but he should have the pillars memorized at this point in time. Tyerenex re-enters. He's back to Earth Floor 2. Both runners starting to spin their wheels a little bit now. Tyerenex gets a chance to strike first to get some gargoyles. He gets out of there. He's going to check these 3 chests up here on the 2nd floor of Earth. It's just money.
Good bit of money. That was about 9,000 overall. Considering we still have those 31,000 gold bracelets.
Yeah, I believe they were for sale in Canaria. Thank you. Behind the scenes, it's Danny again. Danny383 doing all the tracking. She's got these notes as long as my arm right now, telling us behind the scenes exactly where things are, what towns are, what has been found so far, what it is that's coming up. And joining Danny383 is Thyr, straight from Central Europe. Welcome, Thyr. Thank you for joining us and volunteering your time and efforts and your great skills in working with Danny right here on Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Working with the best is your very first entry. Gotta love.
Yeah, and SVJ getting some good turn order luck against that mummy pack.
Tyerenex running into some bats, going batty. He's checking the far right chest. He feels he's got a full clear. Runs into some unrunnable wolves. He's going to have to use some spell charges on them.
SaintVonJester making it through the pillar maze, getting away from the nightmares. Let's see what we got here.
Here comes our next chest. Oh, it's just an iron gauntlet, nothing special there. Probably just easily tossed. Doesn't.
Well, they could still equip it right now.
No, Tyerenex got an opal gauntlet already.
He
Wait,
wiped out
Wyatt.
of that.
Never mind. Potentially see a vampire check, maybe even deeper here. I think Tyerenex is going all in.
Melee, can Tyerenex kill Lich as SaintVonJester picks up his required loot of the Castle Ordeal? Can he take out Lich at this point?
But he... It depends on how many Fire 2 charges he's got by that point. If he's... I mean, granted, he's using them on these mummies here, and... Granted, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's either use Fire 2 on him or try to get away. But if he's going to try and melee Lich, that's probably not going to end well for Tyerenex with what he's currently got.
Well spoken, Melee Wizard. If you know your melee, that's for sure. SaintVonJester exits. Tyerenex, again, spinning his wheels, he can feel it. We're at the 27-minute mark. SVJ has his required loot. Castle Ordeals is done. He's headed back towards the original on-rack area. We know this is Provoca. And Lyra, I've got to think that this is a play on the waterfall.
I'm completely on board with waterfall checks, especially early on. Some of our particular racers in this tournament have proven to make really low-level waterfall gambles that have paid off huge, so this is definitely something that can be required, and something that can be required pretty early.
There's the unrunnable pack of wolves again for Tyerenex. He's going to use the Thor's hammer, but it's not going to take him out. He's going to have to use another Fire 2 charge to get rid of this pack of wolves. As SVJ stocking up on heal potions.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Does Tyerenex even have a decent weapon on the knight right now, or is it just more hammer and go?
I think it's a silver sword. I know one of our players has a silver sword. It might have been SVJ, but that was I don't think he can kill Lich at this point. I really don't. And he's gonna still get. There's a silver sword, I believe, from the red mage, which is. It's okay.
Thor hammer spray and pray strats here for Tyerenex. Finds the dragon armor and vampire chest though. I don't think
that is nice. That'll definitely help survivability against Lich. But it's all just a matter of can you do enough damage.
SVJ runs into the unrunnable mud golems. This entire formation will be unrunnable. It's 1 to 3 mud galls, and Fire 2 isn't going to get him. Neither is that saber that I believe that it is that SVJ is swinging. He has to reset. He realizes that. Runs into some more golems and has to reset. Tyerenex finding some new ground. Good little chest density here. In the Earth Cave finds, gosh, not much. Really,
yeah.
This is painful attacks right here. One can even say these are rice or corn.
Didn't notice how many, oh boy.
These Geists are dangerous, we saw it earlier.
Uh-huh.
We understand they have something, Melee. What is it?
They have Death Touch.
They do.
Not something anyone wants to see, especially on an enemy that shows up, that can show up in multiple places.
Death Touch is non-elemental. It's not elemental, it's not really not even non-elemental. It's what's called a touch attack. You can have Stone Touch, Poison Touch, Dark Touch, a whole lot of different things. But nothing can protect you other than natural M defense, which is called magic defense, which gets naturally higher and better the higher your Light Warrior's levels go. You could have a Pro Ring, a Ribbon, Dragon Armor, and a Partridge in the Pear Tree equipped. It will not protect you from what the Geists have.
And I forget, it was one of the recent races, I forget if it was game 1 here earlier, if it was the Crab Cakes race. It was one of those races had wizards that had Death Touch. That was a nasty piece of work too.
I know all about Death Touch. SaintVonJester is deep in the waterfall. He's using Quake against the Mud Golems. The Mud Golems have Frost. This is okay. He's going to survive the round. Those Mud Golems can really whack him. He got 2 of them down with the Quake. It looks like this might be in a high encounter formation. As the Geists get Shadow Walker 227, that's a Light Warrior for Tyerenex. He's down to 2 warriors now on his way to Lich.
Uh-oh. No life spells is going to make this an interesting trip into Lich and potentially Kamikaze.
The good news, Melee, is Tyerenex now has the information on all the chests inside Earth Cave. Should he not make it through, he knows that progression is not here. He knows it's in Marsh Cave. But he really wants to take out Lich.
Yeah, and if he does end up wiping the Lich, at least he knows that he doesn't. The only real chest that he would really want to grab is the one that the Dragon Armor, and that was the Vampire chest.
So shades of game 1 for SVJ, down to 1 Light Warrior, and it's the Red Wizard again.
Oh boy,
He's
throwing out Quake too.
I don't think SVJ stands a chance in here.
No,
Does he say standing a ghost of a chance?
This is Waterfall, not Sea Shrine, unfortunately.
That's what me mummy said to me. There's the Mud Gulls again. SVJ just needs to reset. He does not do it.
Yeah, these Mud Golems have Frost, and they're just tearing SVJ apart. Huge time waste.
And the Quake is not really doing too much.
See the Tyerenex. Let's see what Tyerenex wants to do. Quake on Lich is a feasible strategy. It's our first Fiend fight at the 32-minute mark. Lich fires Fire 2 into Tyerenex. Tyerenex fires back with his own Fire 2 for 60 damage and a big swing. I believe that's the Giant Sword for 36 damage. 32 damage. Heal 3. Tyerenex playing this very intelligently. Remember, this is an Elite 8 match. There's Sleep and it hits the Red Wizard. Fire 2 again from Lich. Another attack from the Giant Sword for 55 damage. SVJ is about halfway through and dealing with more Mudgalls in the waterfall. 57 damage from Tyerenex. He gets a free round after the Dark, and Tyerenex heals. Playing this really well, Melee.
Having heal 3 is a huge thing right now.
There's the Dark again. Another attack from Tyerenex for 16 damage. Hold misses. Another attack, physical attack, 31 damage. He's starting to pick away at the Fiend of the Earth. 20 damage after 2 hits. Ice 2 is in the spell list for Lich. There's an attack for 15 damage from the Silver Sworded Red Wizard. Fire 2 again from Lich.
Wow.
Red Wizard's down to 1 knee, 37 HP. Another attack from the Silver Sword for 32. Heal 3 gets off after initiative from Tyerenex. SaintVonJester taking on more mummies in the waterfall, trying to get through this. 30 damage. Another Fire 2! And that heal 3 just got off in time. The Sleep misses the Knight. The Knight attacks the Giant Sword for 17.
Yeah, the Sleep did hit the Red Wizard, so it delayed the healing, but got good turn order there.
Another strike from the Giant Sword for 32. Fire 2 again. Another round for Tyerenex. He knows that this is important. 66 damage after a critical hit. 17 damage and Lich is terminated!
Nice!
That Lich had to have upwards of 1,000 HP. That was pretty darn high, I would...
Wow. Melee, we weren't too sure about that. But, you know, me and you got eliminated from the tournament, my friend, and Tyerenex is still here, and he really showed us how to do it.
SVJ, Light Axe, and the Cube. That was definitely required waterfall play, and he's gonna lock this out.
Yeah, okay. At least with the Light Axe, he can better deal with the Mummy Packs, since that does harm 2 on command.
Love those caster items. Definitely a huge blessing early.
Yeah, definitely gotta love those things.
Tyerenex finishing out the Earth Cave and taking out Lich has cut into the advantage that SaintVonJester has. He's now got the information that the waterfall is required and that it does not actually hold progression at this point. But now he's got to get out of here too. He doesn't want to perish. If he perishes, he'll leave. But he wants to get out of here and not see this ever again.
Ooh, stun touch on the mud golems there. Those things are just all sorts of bad. There's Frost again.
Fell into crack. Quake hits again against the golems. SVJ still has most to go. He's out of spell charges, Melee.
Yeah. Out of level 1 spell charges for sure. He still has some heal 3s left to burn.
He needs
this is
that
pretty scary
run.
for SVJ.
He needs that run in the encounter table. I believe it's here. It looks like it is. That was my estimation. Oh, he's got to... Oh, he had to reset and he's leaving! This is the right play. He's got the information. He had no choice.
That's true.
Yeah, unrunnable Mudgalls with what he's got, yeah. When you're having to resort to Quake strats just to get through a place, that's not ideal by any means.
Tyerenex
So we
has put the
haven't seen
pieces
Elfland
together.
yet.
We have not seen Elfland, yes, that's correct. We also have not seen, I believe it's the new Melmond. At this point, that's where we...
No,
potentially-
The new
we
Melmon
found
was
Melmon.
Crescent Lake.
Oh, that's right. It's,
that was where Bahamut was. I think the ones we missed, we haven't seen
Crescent.
Elfland or Crescent Lake,
Crescent.
and both of those are floater locked at this point.
Tyerenex has put the pieces together. He's headed towards the Marsh Cave. This is where he will find his his second loose item. It is the progression item, the Canoe. SaintVonJester is headed, Melee, Ice Cave? Fire 2?
Yeah, well,
Tyerenex
Fire
top
2's...
side first.
With Fire 2, Ice Cave seems like the better play than Volcano for sure, but I don't think he's... SaintVonJester, I don't think he's been to the Crescent Lake area at all, so... He'll find Melmond and probably get his class change.
Well, this is SVJ's first trip over here. Tyerenex about to pick up that canoe and be super happy walking that thing up.
See Jesus, Bahamut. Oh boy. Oh, Spectres have Frost too. That's not nice.
That's the second cast of Frost we've seen right there. Another potential for that wonderful Medusa script.
Tyerenex checking the top side of Marsh. We know that is the correct play. Now it's just a matter of where will Tyerenex check the bottom too, or we'll just peace out after getting that canoe.
So we are 37 minutes in, and the immortal god of recaps, Minochi85, has come in and asked us for one. You want to go ahead with this?
Take it, Lyra. Go ahead.
Alright. The king had the ship, the princess had the crown, Vicky had the rod, Astos gave us a tail, Matoya's crystal was right there 2 squares away from Matoya in her cave. I don't know why she just dropped it. Ordeals had the loot, which we'll need later on, but certainly not now. And then we found the canoe, and Tyerenex is about to pop right into it, if not already just picking up a second ago. I don't know what to feel about this particular run right now.
SPJ entered the waterfall, was able to get to the incentivized location. It was the cube. Perished on his way out, reset and left because it's not what he needs at this point.
And anyone poking fun at Matoya, anyone who's ever dropped the contact lens will know exactly how that feels.
Here, help us find it. Just, it's right over there.
And notice that even though SaintVonJester has the tail, knows that that's where Bahamut is, just decided not to class change as of now.
Tunnel vision melee, maybe?
Maybe.
don't think
I
SPJ
did see him
actually
pause a little bit when he saw Bahamut, but he just decided to move on.
There's the canoe for Tyerenex in the right-hand side chest. Tyerenex is going to walk it out, potentially go deeper.
I'd be without the key. I'd be amazed if Tyerenex decided to check the bottom side of Marsh.
Question in chat, is there any benefit to class changing later? No, in most cases, the master gets more magic defense if it does not promote, but in all other cases, it's better to promote early instead of later. The melee classes start getting spell charges around level 15, so you don't want to miss out on too many.
Yeah, or the opportunity to equip, especially in Tyranex's case, the dragon armor, which he found. There's an Aegis shield available as well. He saw that earlier. And weapons, the Vorpal. I mean, who wouldn't want to equip that, right?
Yeah, I think all SaintVonJester has is the Opal Shield, and I guess that's just not good enough by itself. Meanwhile, SaintVonJester are heading into the Ice Cave. We see those Geist, I believe, do show up here, so we'll see how much of a presence they decide to make.
So as Tyerenex exits Marsh, SVJ is wandering through Ice Cave. Chat brought up a good little quip here. We are all super helpful, and we have what's called the Duckling Initiative, led by one of our wonderful community members, Moist Mogwai. She is dedicated to helping out everybody of all skill levels, and it's a huge blessing. I think we have one of the best new player help communities in all of the randomizers.
Speaking of the new player initiative, which has been, of course, that's what we used to call, it's been recoined and taken over essentially by Moist Mogwai. If we take a look at this best of 3 series, which Tyerenex could close out tonight, could put him in the final 4. We have 3 of the final 4 right now. It's the undefeated Crab Cakes, Shadow Walker 227, and Spell Zap. Now, Lyra, what do they have in common, all 3 of them?
They have all been through the Duckling program. There's not that many vets still left in this tournament, so get in there, get some information. We do provide weekly seeds for you to progressively learn the game a little bit more every time. There's just so many things out there for you. Resource guides, the works. We love everybody in this chat tonight, as we see some of the old familiars in here too, as well as a lot of new people. Thank you all for showing up tonight. We definitely appreciate you here. speaking of the chat, the numbers continue to grow for this particular Game 2 matchup. What an adventure. It's been an honor and a pleasure working with you tonight, Will, Melee, Danny, and Thea are also in the background too, helping us out. You're all amazing. Thank you.
SaintVonJester able to get away from these white frost dragons. Saw in the floor with the holes, there was a free pro ring. That's always nice.
A little bit of a schedule update for this particular series here. If SVJ can actually close it out tonight, not to commentate or curse this or anything, but the Game 3 matchup will be at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on Sunday.
Oh, Frost Giants have glance. It could be something we could see in Temple of Fiends Revisited as well.
Those Frost Giants are quite the looker.
Meanwhile, Tyerenex is heading into Ordeals. Ooh, there's a Pro Cape for SaintVonJester as well.
Yeah, Pro Cape. It's equipable by any mage. It's really only not equipable by the Black Belt or Master, which is laying on the ground for SVJ. It acts as a shield. It takes the shield armor spot. There's body armor, helmet or headwear, handwear, such as a pro ring or a gauntlet, and a shield. Those are the 4 types of armor that you can equip in Final Fantasy.
Interesting enough, SVJ had to spend a soft potion to actually get his fighter back out. Just got a refund on that. Definitely nice to see a little
Oh, boy.
Baby,
Oh, here we go.
You go! It's a game changer for SVJ.
Oh boy, yeah.
That's right. That beautiful sword is in the lower right-hand corner of his stream. You can see it right there, that beautiful blue baby. And SVJ, the last remaining member of Team Vorpal, still in this tournament, leading the way and carrying that flag for the Game Changers as he closes in on the eye fight in an incentivized chest.
And it's the adamant in the ice cave. Fetch questing ahoy.
That's the Geist. There's a couple of them. Eye mages have stun touch. It hits. Oh gosh. Oh god. Oh no, he gets. Oh no, and it perishes.
Oh, 3 for 3. Ouch.
Oh. He goes back in. It seems to me that he feels the adamant leads to progression, potentially the floater. Who knows? Could be the chime. Could be a lot of different things. What we know right now is that Tyerenex is digging Castle of Ordeal. We know that it's a required trip, but it's not progression right now. We know it holds the loot. At this point, we found 2 loose items. It's the required canoe and the crystal, which led to a ribbon, non-required. The only other item out there, whether you find it loose or whether you find a quest item that leads to it that will not be required, is the opal bracelet. So odds are heavy that the 3rd loose item will be required.
Well, I mean, technically the ruby.
Also the ruby, yes.
Rubies are.
Fortunately, we don't have
girl's
access
best
to a
friend.
warp that would make this trip to ice a lot easier.
Now, from what I've seen from this vantage point here, we didn't really get a level 5 magic check, so warp or exit could potentially. Could also be in 3 and 4, but those are both floater locked right now, as you mentioned before.
SVJ skips the Frost Dragon chest. He's skipping. I think there was a Pro Cape down there, Melee. Did you say? He's gonna skip that.
There was a pro ring in the top left chest, not in the previous floor, and a pro cape in the Frost Dragon and the Frost Wolf room. That and the aforementioned shiny blue blade of doom. I think that was pretty much it for Ice Cave.
That was smooth, by the way, Melee. Much respect.
SaintVonJester
made his way.
Definitely.
SaintVonJester has made his way very quickly back to the eye fight. He's going to pick up his adamant right now. Can he get out of here is the question. As Tyerenex has made it to the end of Castle of Ordeal, closing in on his loot.
Question in chat, was that the Vorpal? No, I was actually referring to the Ice Sword, but he didn't pick that up this time.
What's an ice sword?
All jokes aside, getting the Vorpal is definitely the best weapon we've seen so far.
SVJ runs into some more guys. He gets the Fire 2 off with initiative and is able to take them out. He gets off another Fire 2, takes out the rest of the undead. We're nearing the 50-minute mark. Neither player is in the air at this point in time. We have not seen the towns of Elfland or Crescent Lake.
Both runners probably starting to feel a little bit of pressure here, especially this late with 0 progression whatsoever.
Tyerenex able to get past the zombie dragon. Walks out with the loot. SaintVonJester just has to walk out with the adamant.
Adamantly.
I was trying to think of a follow-up to that, and I drew blanks.
Tyerenex
Or
has
did you
his
draw
loot.
some glares?
He's, oh gosh. He is leaving Castle of Ordeal. He's headed towards the waterfall area, the same type of progression that SVJ did earlier. He runs into an unrunnable encounter that's just annoying him. SVJ trying to win this match. His back is up against the wall. He must win this match to continue on in the 2019 spring tournament, and he knows it.
So the thought that just occurred to me, now that SaintVonJester has the Vorpal, will that provoke him to get that class change?
I
So
think
that
it's
he can
time,
actually start
definitely.
using it.
SVJ's in trouble here.
Uh-oh.
It's a stun touch wizards. They took out his fighter. He steps away. He has got to get out of here, and he does.
Good, good.
Thank the heavens for that. SVJ is gonna start walking just one light warrior up right now, though. This is gonna be a pretty slow.
Nah, he's SaintVonJester's got both of his red mages up right now. So.
You see the interactive backgrounds being changed in the background by Fear and Danny3883, the only game that you'll see with interactive tracking. And one beautiful tracker that we've got down there, letting all the fans know where it is that our players are, what it is that they're up to, where they're at this point. And so we certainly thank you for that. If you're watching on YouTube later on, we uploaded and reloaded. We see that community over there, and we participate in the comments. We read them all. We certainly thank you for that, and we certainly thank you for enjoying, gosh, Melee, the same game that we love so much.
Noticing at Tyerenex coming through the waterfall, he's not having nearly as much issues with those mud balls. With that giant sword, he's able to make quick work of them.
So that's what they call the Vorpal, is definitely a more giant sword. There's the old apocalypse ponies, but Tyerenex gets away pretty quickly. But more mud golems, hooray!
Yeah, not forcing Tyerenex to use up all those quake charges that SaintVonJester was having to do.
SVD trying to get back to the old Crescent Lake, which we know has been shuffled to Melmond. There's no inn here. Well, there's an inn, excuse me, but there's no clinic. He's going to be able to save, try to jump in his ship, and head directly towards the Dwarf Cave. There's the unrunnable mud golems again for Tyerenex, but he's just ripping through them.
SaintVonJester are making a beeline for Bahamut getting that class change. And, ooh, we're about to see level 5 magic, because he can survive. Okay, good. And life 1. That is learnable. Nice.
Hooray!
It's Lightning 2 and Ice 3 here, I believe. Ice
It
3
was
and Lightning 3.
3, Ice 3.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a pretty good level 5 magic right there.
Only thing is, it's all in the same spell slot. That's the thing you don't want to see the most, generally, but Life 2's still floating around out there.
Yeah, Ruse was locked. Neither player will be able to see that. That's in a white mage, white wizard exclusive slot. As Tyerenex has picked up his cube, SVJ knows it's here. He couldn't get it out. Can Tyerenex get out of here is the question.
Ooh, Tyerenex equipping the light axe. Don't see that very often.
It's so weightless, though. It just feels like a cloud in your hand.
Are you saying that that comment holds no weight?
Everybody loves some fun here in Final Fantasy Randomizer. Thank you all for tuning in.
I'm just a little ashamed that I'm not able to follow up on all this.
We'll pretend that that's good. We'd like to welcome to the chat a name I haven't seen before. Welcome, Peanut5555. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer. We are awesome, and we have one of the best shows you will ever see. Great players, great community. Welcome. This is Elite 8 action. It's game 2 and the best of 3. Tyerenex is up 1-0, looking to take out Team Vorpal's SaintVonJester. SVJ trying to win this and force a game 3 tomorrow.
Chat pointing out that you're stealing my thunder, Will. But you know what? I'm a white mage. I don't carry thunder spells unless it's the Thor hammer. Just...
Are you saying you wouldn't fade away?
Oh, never. I'm here forever, baby. Speaking of things that are here forever, definitely not the wolves and the rurus.
Alright, so let's see what we have, what the blacksmith has, and it's the key. Forged a key for us.
Is the mystic key. Melee, you're gonna check, you're right here at the Dwarf Cave, you're gonna check the Dwarf Cave Armory.
Oh yeah.
Then what? Is it the incentivized marsh? Is it the other key lock chest? What are you doing if you're SaintVonJester here?
Well, the Northwest Castle is right close by. I'd probably check those, and hello, Banesword.
Game clincher!
Yeah, well, there's another pro ring. Marsh Cave, now that I can actually get the incentivized item, would definitely be on my mind. I'd probably get at least the Corneria Armory, possibly the Elfland Armory as well, before checking Marsh, since those chests are free. If I really wanted to, I'd probably check the Temple of Fiends lock chest as well.
Okay. SaintVonJester equips the Game Changer to his knight, moves the Banesword around to his red wizard, and he's back in his boat. Tyerenex is on his boat. Still no sign of the floater. Neither player is in the air. We are closing on the 1 hour mark.
Yeah. Chat noticing that on SaintVonJester's side, the knight is still dead, hasn't been revived since leaving ice.
SVJ looks like he's headed towards that incentivized marsh cave now that he has access to the potential incentivized item. The chat is being chat and saying they're calling out for the ruby. If I was to guess, maybe like the TNT that leads to the ruby or something along those lines. We'll see what happens.
Chat's just hungry for victory. And you know what? Gems sometimes taste like victory.
Melee, no sign of nuke, no sign of fade at this point. When you hit this hour mark, you're still not in the air, and you know that Elfland is still MIA, as well as like Life 2. How fast do you want to get to Elfland, and is that your top priority should you be able to get in the air soon?
Getting into the air should probably be... Outside of maybe getting the canoe, finding that floater is probably the most important thing, just because it opens the world up so much. It's just a matter of where the heck do I have to go to find this thing? Because SaintVonJester, getting that key, that opens up a lot of chests. It also opens up that incentivized march check, which looks like that's where he's heading to now. Well, it's progression for sure. Sometimes like, finding the canoe opens up like half a dozen things. Finding the key opens up half a dozen things. You gotta worry about where some of these progression items might be, because we found 2 loose items. There's still 1 more, and who knows where it might end up.
Tyerenex picks up his level 5 magic. SaintVonJester saves outside of the marsh cave and enters it. He saves with a house. He's going to head down towards the basement.
It's incentive time, so hopefully we can actually find something really good here. The airship would definitely be nice and would definitely give SVJ a big morale.
Yeah, we've We've already found the rod, so that we've already seen Earth Cave largely had nothing. One thing that would be interesting to find would be the chime right about now.
Oh, that would be an interesting scenario.
This was nice, but yeah, Earth Cave's pretty much useless beyond.
I've got to think that this is going to be a League 2 item and a potential quest item. A bottle, a TNT sort of thing. We'll see what it is fairly soon, more than likely from SVJ. And as much as we are watching SaintVonJester, who has to leave the room to move the bat, as much as it might look like he's in a lead, remember, Tyerenex, number one, he's on his way to the Ice Cave right now, which is the correct play, we think. But Tyerenex has already figured out and gotten through all of Earth Cave, and he's taking care of the waterfall as well with his cube, so he's got 2 dungeons down.
SVJ finds the second Pro Cape right there in the old mixed chests and bottom floor of Marsh. That's actually super nice.
So I wonder, will SaintVonJester check the crown chest? Yes, he does. I wonder if I should be surprised. These wizards, they pack a bit of a punch, and they have stun touch too. Not getting the run luck. And yet down goes the knight.
He's got access to life now. I think he's got charges of it in level 5. If he can get out of this fight.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Oh,
This
boy.
is another red wizard. Oh, they blast with a huge crit.
Yeah, ow.
Question in chat, are the character choices randomized in this as well? We have one that's been forced throughout the entire round, one that's forced each particular seed that's randomized, and then we have one that's banned.
Yep, given our motif of sailing the high seas, our captain for the round of 8 was the black belt. The one walking the plank was the white mage, and our first mate for this particular seed was the red mage.
SVJ digging deeper again into the Marsh Cave. Could not get through the wizards. Moves into some unrunnable scorpions. Tyerenex got through the pack of undead. He's closing in on the drop-down floor and the Ice Cave loop. No access to warp, exit, nuke, fade. We haven't seen life 2. I don't think we saw lamp even. So magic has been not the greatest.
Now, seeing Ice 3 and Lit 3 in level 5 does help. It's just a shame that it's on the same level as Life 1.
So without level 3 and 4 magic, we are missing a lot of stuff here. We don't generally check, this is about the average for most of the community, but it's always a good idea if you're actually curious. The level 7 and 8 magic shops that are located in Fane and Gaia, and there's even some in Onrak too, that can help get you that little bit of information to where you just worry about stuff later on.
Even if you won't have access to it, like say in SaintVonJester's side, you're not going to have access to level 8 magic, regardless of the circumstances. But knowing that, say, if Fast was there, at least now you know and can kind of plan around not having it moving forward. And it looks like SaintVonJester's going to be checking all the key lock chests here. Yep, dodging the various trap tiles that have more wizards.
Takes the Cobra trap tile instead of the wizards. You know what we call that, Lara?
The Snake Changer?
The Snake Changer, that is what we call it. Melee, what do we call that move from the SVJ? Give it to the fans.
I believe the proper vernacular is a veteran move.
Yes, sir.
Veteran move!
Tyerenex picks up his Ice Sword and his Pro Cape. Retreading ground that SVJ found, perished, and then skipped. As SVJ closing in, he's got 2 chests left. One of them is incentivized. One of them is guarded by the wizards. They hit incredibly hard. They can critical hit you. They have multiple hits. And they have a stun paralysis touch, which SVJ is going to have a hard time potentially avoiding. It's a 2-2... I believe it's a 2-5 wizard encounter. We'll see how many he draws.
So an unrunnable Scorpion troop here. Here we are. Rockets like a hurricane. SVJ gets through no problem after 2 rounds.
So these wizards are runnable, but they've proven to be problematic for SaintVonJester at least. Just a matter of, does he try to run or does he just try to take him out with Thor Hammer? And admittedly, Fire 2 is not the best spell to use against them, but okay, he gets it right away, and it's the TNT.
Oh, so many birthdays.
It's a shame that the key led to... You got the key from the dwarves, and then you get the item in Incentivized in Keylock Marsh, and it sends you right back to the dwarves again.
That's the Geist for Tyerenex, but he gets the Fire 2 out. That's going to wipe him. SaintVonJester has now cleared with an Ice Shield pickup the Marsh Cave. He's going to walk it out. Tyerenex picks up a Flame Shield, and he's headed to the Incentive Eye chest. We know this is the Adamant, and it will lead to the Mystic Key.
Tyerenex gets the Adamant, and we'll have to survive another one of these undead packs on the way out.
Melee, you were fairly involved with the first match. It was earlier today between these two. You took a good look at it knowing that you were going to be here tonight. SVJ made a play late in the game in the Temple of Fiends Revisited, stopping off and taking levels. With the magic just isn't very good. We have at least life 1. Depending on what we see in Elfland, do you think that he potentially does that again?
Given that the time spent grinding was more or less the time difference between them, ultimately, that may be in the back of his mind, but it really all depends on what kind of equipment we get moving forward, what kind of levels we get moving forward. If he's able to take some fights in, say, Shrine with the Thor Hammer or in Sky or something and get a few levels, it all depends on what level SaintVonJester is comfortable with going into Topher with what he has.
With this party, I would recommend at least 25, and as we saw, SVJ actually got a few little extra levels from having to go hero mode in Ice Cave. I think the better play would just be to hold off for a little bit while longer. We're still so far in progression, like grinding on tiles may not be necessary.
Yeah, SaintVonJester still has all 4 orbs left to light up. Between Volcano, Sea Shrine, and Mirage and Sky, if you take enough fights, levels probably won't be an issue.
Yeah, so go moding through dungeons will actually be easier.
Oh
hi,
boy.
Ruby!
Oh,
the fetch
boy.
quests are endless!
You know it's bad when the key ends up being a fetch quest in itself.
Yeah, definitely. So SVJ is going to use that ruby, head towards Sarda, we certainly believe. Tyerenex picks up his Adamant. If this is the Chime, or the Oxiale, wow, does this get really, clustery? I guess, I gotta think the odds are pretty strong it's gonna be some sort of floater.
One can only hope. Oh hey, the river is unrunnable, but easy enough dealt with at this point.
Yep, Fire 2s, Thor Hammer, one way or another, they're going down.
Or if it's the
Hooray!
Chime, hooray, and knowing full well that the cube is in play, that both players have knowledge of, Tyerenex having it, oh boy, things get really complicated real fast.
Mm-hmm. So if it ends up being, say, the Chime at Sarda, do you think SaintVonJester will try to give another shot at getting the cube out of the waterfall?
Oh gosh. Yes. I would think that you would almost have to at that point, having that knowledge. Because at this point in time, we have access to Onrak and Kraken. We have access to both the Chime and the Cube, to potentially take out Tiamat. We have access to Lich via the Rod. We have access to Carry via the Volcano.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Mystic Key, we have the Loot. We have no airship. So, should the slab translation potentially lead to an Opal Bracelet type scenario, well, we've got Crescent Lake as well, so... there's a lot of scenarios out there, but we have access to all 4 Fiends almost at this point in time without possession of the Oxy.
Tyerenex going on an adventure here down to the bottom of Marsh Cave. Gonna go ahead and pick up that wonderful TNT and have to walk it all the way back.
So, given what we've seen, it's possible we could. It's as unlikely as it is. We could be looking at one of those magical non-floater required seeds. Because if we find. Because really, there's only 2 items. Actually, yeah, there's 2 items left for Go Mode. It's the Oxy Ale and the Chime. We could find one of those at Sarda, and the other one could be loose somewhere.
Yeah, it could be loose in the Volcano. We still have not seen the Volcano here. We're closing in an hour and 10 minutes. That's 70 minutes. There's a 3rd loose item out there.
And apparently we're seeing in chat that apparently it would lead to a floater locking itself, which can't happen, so oh well.
Yeah. Titan has been
staying fed this time. No resets out for SVJ here. Let's open up these boxes and find out what we have. A little bit of money, a little more money, a cabin, and a 43 penny.
Nothing.
Hooray.
SCJ raided the Titan, he had nothing.
It was worth walking out of, but I guess it was either that or go through the feeding process again. So what does Sarda have? And it's
Hooray!
the Oxy!
Oh
my!
Now that is a very good, actually, pickup for SVJ, because, Melee, you said it. Had that been the Chime, as he resets and says, forget it?
Okay, that's an interesting
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
Money.
that is okay.
Frustration. Okay, there you go. I think it's frustration. Look at him.
Yes, I think the seed's kind of given both of our runners a runaround. I'm starting to worry that maybe SVJ is starting to go a little bit on tilt now, given his failed attempt at Waterfall and the key items just not being what he probably wants it to be.
In what I was saying before was, in Melee talked about it before. He essentially, we talked about if this was the Chime, you would have to go to Waterfall first, I would certainly think. And so that's actually good news, I believe, for SVJ that he finds the Oxy at this point, as Tyerenex starts to dig deeper into the Marsh Cave, looking to pick up his incentivized location. He's going to clear it as well, and he's going to pick up his TNT very shortly.
So where was Onrak again? I forget now.
Onrak was in the original Melman.
Okay, so it's close by. So if SaintVonJester decided to go dive Sea Shrine, he can do so right now.
This would definitely be the play here. But here's the question. Do you go Kraken side first, or do you want to give the mermaids a
All depends on if you think you're strong enough to take out Kraken right now. If not, I'd probably go mermaid side first. But he's doing neither. He's going away. Gonna do something else.
SVJ going back into the inner sea here. This is an interesting trip.
Keylock chest in
Elfland?
Elfland Castle? Keylock chest in Northwest Castle?
Yeah, so Tyerenex checked the ones in Northwest Castle. I don't. If Tyerenex checked the ones in Elfland Castle, I didn't see it.
I didn't see either if that happened. Danny, did that?
Yeah, there was nothing in the Northwest Castle. I don't think... I'm pretty sure Corneria Castle hadn't been checked. I don't think Elfland Castle was checked either.
Tyerenex has raided and completed the dive in the marsh cave. He's going to try to run out of here. He's actually running along the bottom here. And this is a really nice play that's very subtle from Tyerenex. When you step in front of a door that's actually a safe square, number one, you won't get an encounter, and number two, it will actually not increment your step counter in order to get encounters. SVJ did not do that. He actually ran along the top, and Tyerenex does it again. This is supreme routing and little things that are kind of hard to tell if they're not really pointed out or if you don't know the game quite that well.
Here we go with Corneria lock chest. A little bit of money. Ooh, a mage
staff.
staff's pretty nice.
Not bad, not
Cabin.
bad. There's our second ribbon. And the
Oh,
Excalibur!
wow.
Oh, the legendary Excalibur.
SVJ loading up here. Tyerenex may not.
Okay, that was a pretty good. That was worth it.
SVJ's headed towards a quick stop here. He's headed towards, I believe this is a play on the volcano.
There's a lot of chests in Volcano, and SVJ is definitely thinking at this time, this is time to actually start full clearing a dungeon, or maybe even just like flat out finishing it without clearing two.
And it is a play on the volcano for SVJ as Tyerenex has picked up his ruby. He will sail the high seas and not talk to the dwarf. And head towards Sarda now to pick up his incentivized main NPC item, which he will find is the Oxio.
So, I'm finding some of SaintVonJester's decisions a little. Oh, actually, no, he did go back and get Oxio. He's definitely gonna have to go back to Waterfall. Hopefully, with more levels, he'll be able to make a better time of it with those mud galls around. It says how much of an advantage does that give Tyerenex? And hello, defense sword.
That's a defense sword in the armory.
Flame armor is a pretty nice pickup too.
We've got something coming up. I want to see what else here is in the armory.
And I missed a couple of those.
Me too.
A little bit of a lag chest there.
Great axe, a weird sword.
If it was anything good, we would have seen him go into the menu.
Yes. It was actually pointed out in chat, and I thought about this. It was pointed out by Crabcakes. Tyerenex is closing in on Sarda right now, and he wants to see the floater. He's not going to find it. And we're expecting Tyerenex to just pause afterwards and just kind of stand there after he doesn't get what he wants. So let's see if we can enjoy something from the left side of your screen in Tyerenex.
Nope.
We do not. Okay.
Hey, look,
Yeah, but
Agatha
both of
cousin.
our runners are probably just thinking, where the heck is this thing? And they're probably worried that their opponent has already gotten it and has been in the air for like half an hour now.
These are the kind of seeds that heroes are born from. SVJ looking to be a hero to run into the shadow of the. Gotta be strong, gotta be fast. Gotta be ready for the fight.
Gotta be fresh for the fight.
Close enough. There's a flame sword for SVJ.
Question in chat, how many loose items have been found? A total of 2. The first one was the crystal in Matoya's cave. Har har. The other one, what was... What?
A canoe in Marsh Cave.
Oh yeah, canoe in Marsh Cave, right. On the top,
Oh,
and
the
there's our
herb!
third one! Oh boy! There's our third incentivized item.
And we have, even with the objective NPC shuffle, we have access to the Elf Doctor. He's standing next to the Elf Prince.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing the math correctly, this will lead to our floater, or potentially the bottle, but eventually I do believe this is where we're gonna go. SVJ, with a potential advantage at this point in time, With that knowledge, Tyerenex has done the Earth Cave, taken out Lich, and completed the waterfall as well and gotten the cube. But Tyerenex is entering the Sea Shrine.
Okay, I think we officially have ourselves a race now.
This is shaping up to converge rather nicely.
See if Tyerenex actually chooses to go mermaid side first.
Big swing from the red wizard, Zap, and the Vorpal, the game changer, takes out the enemies as Tyerenex is headed towards potentially the Kraken side of the Sea Shrine. Looks like it is. It is. It is not a play on the mermaids.
I'm disappointed, but hopefully it works out well. There's an opal shield for SVJ. Some money too, it's actually pretty nice. As we welcome Demon Frog to the chat. Yep, SVJ is pretty loaded at this point. Not too much more I need, especially since we have our third lead.
And how tough are the Agamas? Today, the Agamas are sufficiently squishy, though I don't know. Well, okay, he's gonna take at least one more fight.
Get your Agama facts in now, this could be going pretty fast.
Tyerenex has made his way deeper into the Sea Shrine on his way to Kraken. Looks like he is going to full clear at least this side of it. At this point, it's a big swing, takes out a gray shark. He's at the Sharknado floor.
So, some things that we haven't seen yet that I'm sure our runners would love to find. Power Gauntlet, White Shirt, Massmune. Possibly that third ribbon, maybe?
Third ribbon, yeah.
Tyerenex is a brick house.
And unfortunately, didn't see what was in the red dragon chest.
Blink and you miss it.
There's another ice sword.
SVJ making his way to Carrie. She's the Fiend of Fire. He's going to try to light his first orb. He's in great shape. He was using a Mage Staff by accident. He's going to fire Quake at Carrie. It's ineffective. Another shot of Quake, and that's ineffective. This is a strike from the Excalibur for 128 after 3 hits. And Carrie obliterates Jean. One of them.
Ouch.
Another strike from the Excalibur, 217. SVJ fires Quake again into Carrie. 5 hits from Carrie into the night, only 29 damage. SVJ not giving up though, fires another Quake into Carrie. That's ineffective, but the Excalibur hits for 203, and Carrie's terminated.
Well, there was a katana in the Sharknado room, for all the good it does us right now.
Yep, I'm definitely not believing that one.
Question from chat, from Triton GL, one of my favorites. What is everyone's favorite cake? Marble.
I'll take, vanilla, or, yeah, white or yellow filling with, like, vanilla or strawberry.
Melee.
Chocolate cake's always a good go-to. I'm not that much of a cake person. It's not something that I encounter too often.
One of the things I like to snack on as often as I can are crab cakes.
Oh boy.
Alright then.
Now we have some lobsters and sea snacks over there. Delicious sea.
Anyway, meanwhile, Tyerenex encountering another unrunnable encounter here in Shrine on the way to Kraken. I don't think this encounter has any bearing on the seafood party platter in Topher, so I don't.
trying to keep up with SaintVonJester's stream. He is turning in the herb. He has awoken the prince. The elf
And
prince
there's
via
the
the elf
floater.
doctor.
Woo!
There is the floater, which we suspected it certainly was. All 3 items have been located.
SVJ the first into the air, Tyerenex going straight into Kraken.
Tyerenex initiates the fight with Kraken. He's trying to light his second orb and take a 2-to-1 orb lead over SVJ. Bane Sword from the Knight misses. Sleep 2 hits the Red Wizard, but the Red Wizard wakes back up. A Lightning 3 from the Black Wizard hits pretty strong for 180. It's gonna wall the Red Wizard. Another Bane Sword from the Knight misses. And a Fire 2 for 18 damage. And Kraken smashes the Black Wizard, but he survives. That's
Poison
Shadow Walker
touch.
227. Bane Sword hits!
Oh, wow!
Poison smoke, and Kraken is terminated.
I found it interesting that it was the knight using Bane Sword like that, but it worked, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have Gaia has Elfland, and we've got Fire 3 and Zap in level 3 Black Magic.
Still no sign of nuke quite yet. Level 3 white magic. Is there a Fade in here or a Life 2 that's Red Wizard learnable? It is!
There's Life 2, learnable by everyone.
That's a Knight Life 2 as well. That's right, first slot.
Mm-hmm. That is good. That is very, very good.
But ooh, and Viz 2 level 4. That's actually pretty nice too, honestly.
Tyerenex, after taking out Kraken, is headed back into the Sea Shrine. He's headed towards the Mermaids. No sign of nuke again, however, Temper and Quad X at level 4 Black Magic.
Those red mages are super, super happy seeing those particular spells at level.
That leaves Crescent Lake. The new Crescent Lake is located at the old Lefane. SaintVonJester headed directly towards the Earth Cave, which I do believe he is going to go mode and try to take out Lich.
Yeah, it makes sense that he's going after Earth Cave before hitting Crescent Lake, because especially when it's that far out of the way, if it's gonna take that long to get to Crescent Lake, you're gonna get everything in one trip.
Tyerenex has made it to the Mermaids. If he doesn't find anything, which we don't think he really will. I mean, there could be a Mazmoon, a third ribbon. Melee talked about that a little bit earlier. He may just reset out of here. I mean, if he finds something worthwhile, he's gonna have to walk it out.
Yeah, they're powering there. SVJ's gunning it, definitely not stopping for anything in here. Gonna miss it on the Aegis Shield, but that's okay, that was pretty much all that was in here. Actually, the Dragon Armor was right there next to the Vampire. That might be a greed check, and that's definitely a good one this particular.
Tyerenex skipped a chest. He went back and got it. 63,000 gold, but he's down to 2 chests here. If he doesn't find anything, I think he just resets.
Does it
Walk out.
reset?
He's, I believe he's going back to the previous floor to take a look at those chests as well. We know he's in the wrong area. We have that benefit. I think he made a good play, Melee. It's good chest density at this point. He was kind of in the area. I like his dive. It's just not the right area.
Yeah, if he was gonna check mermaids at all, I respect that he's doing it now. It's just we know that that's not where he needs to be.
Question in chat, has exit anyway, huh?
No. SaintVonJester just got out of a fight. Melee, I didn't see what happened there. I don't know. He got dragon armor?
Yeah, I thought there should have been something in that room, but else in that room besides that, but I didn't see what it was.
Getting to see the very infrequently checked chests up here in Sea Shrine.
I think you just reset out of the whole bunch.
Which is fine. There wasn't too much there, unfortunately. I mean, there was a huge time loss there. That's like something you have to eat eventually, but
Yeah.
like the rest of the chest, it wasn't worth missing out on. So
You know we're missing the...
He's going to be getting that ribbon and Excalibur. It's just a matter of how long will it take for Tyerenex to finally get to that volcano.
I hope you closed your eyes on that Earth Cave run. Falconic, I know, I see it. So we're down to the Opal Bracelet and the Chime. For the 2 incentivized item, one will be behind the Slab Translation and Turn In. One will be behind the Crescent Lake Sages. We'll see where that leads, and then Go Mode could potentially be established soon as Tyerenex picks up his legendary Excalibur.
Yeah, and in chat, apparently SaintVonJester took a suboptimal route through 4th floor, and as such, his entire run is now deemed invalid.
these aren't the validation chests. Those are in Temple of Fiends Revisited, actually.
Ooh, Tyerenex heading for the Keylok Temple of Fiends chest.
SVJ gets the first turn cake. Lich was pretty hungry, so down goes Lich. SVJ gets another orb on.
Goodness knows he'd been getting a whole lot of practice using Quake, at least in Waterfall, so it makes sense that he's getting better at it.
SVJ headed directly towards the Old Lefane with the Town Shuffle. We know this is Crescent Lake. There will be no gold bracelet, no pro rings or anything like that. However, there will be level 6 white magic and black magic. The top slot, slot 1 of black magic, will be learnable by his red wizards, and slots 2 through 4 will be learnable in white magic at level 6 for SVJ, as well as a chat with the Circle of Sages. In an incentivized item, we believe to be either the bottle leading to the Chime or the Opal Bracelet, or the Opal Bracelet or the Chime itself.
Yeah, question in chat, where was the cube? The cube is in the waterfall. SVJ does know it's there. He was able to get there, he just wasn't able to walk out with it.
Fade,
And we see
Cure
Fade
4,
and Cure
Harm
4 in level 6.
Hello.
That's a welcome sight.
Having both is nice, it's just a matter of when the time comes, which will you favor more, and there's Warp at level 6 as well.
Yeah, we're at the
Warp
90-minute
level
mark, so
3.
the value of Warp has really gone down.
And it's not something that can be learned anyway, so it's neither here nor there.
Tyerenex is making the play he needs to make. He's headed to the Gurgu Volcano. SaintVonJester went to the Circle of Sages, but something happened. They're all over the place. There's the bottle. They were off their meds. They handed the bottle back over to SVJ, and he's leaving with it.
The prescription bottle for SVJ. Well, it has a tiny fairy in it, which... What were they doing with it?
I think the sage they handed over was Maya. If I was looking at it correctly, look like Ik Ben Maya.
Tyerenex chest getting a couple of chests that SVJ actually skipped here, too.
Yep. Aside from the one on the very bottom right, Tyerenex pretty much skipped everything on the right side of the armory.
Yeah, long hallway is not generally, like, things that were gonna be super important, but they have shown up to be really important in other races in the tournament.
Yes. SVJ headed to the Cardia Islands. He's going to go ahead and check these chests. I got to think that he's looking for what Melee talked about earlier, you know, the third ribbon, a power gauntlet, white shirt, that sort of stuff. It won't be anything, we don't think, highly likely, there's nothing required, unless a cabin pops up, but he will go to Bahamut, and Bahamut's old lair. Bahamut is not there. It will be Dr. to translate his slab very quickly.
Let's see, we have the rest of the Cardia Isles here. Silver Dagger. Yay! 2,000, 29,000. That's not horrible, but SVJ doesn't really need money anymore, so I'll take it.
Yeah, we've had the slab for a while. It's finally time to get this thing translated. So at this point, it's got to be the chime. Or it's either the chime or the opal bracelet. That's all we have left, right?
Yep, and then turning in the bottle will be the other one, unless we get cabin. And then everything goes completely insane, but the likelihood of that is very low.
And knowing is half the battle, so we're gonna find out very shortly.
If memory serves, tell that to the people who were in the play-in race.
Oh no!
I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with that.
I missed it, so you know better than I do.
Well, hey, I was in the last chance qualifier. I could have been a part of that whole mess.
SVJ finds nothing. He's gonna not reset, and he's gonna walk this out. He may not have saved. As Tyerenex digs deeper into the Goo Goo Volcano, he's closing in on his loose herb, which will lead to the floater. He's gonna try to close this race up. We're past the 90-minute mark, 93 minutes. SaintVonJester is headed towards the old Provoca town. He is not headed towards the old Provoca town in Lefane. I take that back. He is gonna turn in the bottle.
Yeah, and someone in chat mentioning the flashing effect when you go through the lava. There is actually a flag to actually turn that off, and that's one that I often employ. Just so that it's kind of annoying. And Tyerenex finds the herb and immediately leaves.
So, a note in chat. No SVJ, no Phantom Waterfall.
Yeah, he was able to get to the cube, but he wiped before he was able to get out, and hasn't been back since.
SaintVonJester released a tiny fairy from the bottle, and a tiny fairy handed over a beautiful opal bracelet. Not what SaintVonJester wanted. He heads directly to the old Provoca. He's gonna have a chit-chat with the Lefanish here and pick up his chime. Meanwhile, Tyerenex got that loose herb, and he's headed directly towards Carrie. He's gonna try to light his third orb. SaintVonJester, will see where he goes next. The waterfall is a required dungeon that he still has to do to get the cube.
So I really hope SaintVonJester doesn't forget about the cube being where it is, but he's heading for Sea Shrine for now.
He has his third orb.
So Bracken Saber at level 7, Black Magic. Oh, there is exit at level 7. And it was learnable too, okay.
Well, that'll save him when he goes to the waterfall. He won't have to walk out. That's
definitely
huge.
Especially since he couldn't learn Warp at 6. That's definitely a big one.
SaintVonJester enters the Sea Shrine, 1 hour 35 minutes. He will head directly towards Kraken to try to take him out and light his third orb. Tyerenex is headed towards Elfland Castle to turn in his newly acquired herb, the Medicine of Awakening. Wake up the Elf Prince to move forward and progress in this game. It will be the floater.
Question in chat, can the Golem eat Opal? I have it on good authority that the Titan thinks Opal is kind of tough and gamey. And Tyerenex finally gets the floater at 1 hour 35. Cannot feel good about that.
Absolutely not at this point. That's going to be some sort of frustration here.
You can't at all, Melee. I mean, I don't think either player feels comfortable. I mean, if we take a look back at a Sweet 16 match, just really within the last week, it was a knockdown drag-up best of 3. Lord Fizzlebeef won 2 games to 1 over the Dragon Slayer, and in all 3 of those matches, both players were done in all 3 of those matches before this time of 1 hour 36 minutes. So you gotta feel behind. You can't. You just like.
Yeah, it's specific in both of our runners' case, but especially Tyerenex. On seeing that herb, it's like this thing was here this whole time. How long ago did SaintVonJester find this? And honestly, SaintVonJester might be thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, there's no more chests in between here and there. Well, there's a couple of greed chests here and there, but other than that, I don't think either runner's stopping.
Well, SaintVonJester already knows where the cube is. If anything, he's just checking stuff along the way, see if he can find Mass Mune or another ribbon or something. We know it ain't there, but he does not.
Dragon Sword. You all know what that means if you've been following this tournament and you've been listening to the sound of my voice in these various casts. We could have the Lord Almighty Powerful Dragon Sword.
Tyerenex finds Elflin, picks up his Tempers, his Quadex, and even more importantly, the Life 2s that he will have on the Knight and the Red Wizard for later on in this game at level 3 White Magic. No sign of a Power Gauntlet. No sign of the high damage dealing, versatile Mazmoon weapon. Nor the white shirt. I've got a feeling that SVJ is kicking it into Go mode as well as Tyerenex. And we might not see any of those items unless they're really free and you walk right to them and walk right by.
Ooh, lobsters have rub. I didn't see that before.
Does that make them rock lobsters?
We'll just have to... I'll just go grab this paper tiger I have. That'll take care of him real quick.
Tyerenex picks up his bottle that the sages hand over. We know that will lead to the opal bracelet. SaintVonJester initiates the fight with Kraken. He's trying to light his third orb and tie this up at 3 orbs.
SCJ taking on Kraken 1, gets some temper going. Ooh, big hit on Jean there. Bane Sword misses, Defense Sword goes up. Here we go, Bane Sword again. Fires 2, misses. Fire 2 comes out. Not that much damage, but
No.
Jean's down to just 28 HP.
Ooh. Even after a couple of tempers, that was only one hit there on Kraken. Kraken's got some evasion.
Oh, definitely. There's 3 hits, 482.
Oh.
Kraken is fast, though. Here we go.
That's not something you want to see. Either Kraken with fast is very scary.
Tyerenex didn't really see this particular pattern, so this is a little bit interesting right here. Oh, big
Thankfully, I think that was only for like 62 damage, so thankfully Kraken's not hitting hard. He's just hitting a lot. Apparently, Kraken also must have stop on his spell list as well.
I believe that was it might have been Poison Touch, I think.
That would be.
He has that as well, yeah. We did see that on Tyerenex's side.
Speaking of Tyerenex, he picks up his opal bracelet. We can see that SaintVonJester's timer is frozen at this point. That's not the greatest of indications, but we are behind the scenes with SVJ at this point. We know that he has not disconnected, at least right now. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll stick with the action, and we'll stick with Tyerenex as he has entered Go mode as soon as he translates his slab and goes back to the Fane to pick up his chime like he used to do 30 years ago when we were kids. He will enter Go mode right around the 1 hour 43 minute mark or so.
Here's that slab translation right here for Tyerenex. Gonna go ahead and warp on out, which, yeah, that's actually a pretty solid play right there. SVJ finally makes it back to the waterfall.
I presume that victory was had against Kraken as he's heading back into Waterfall to get his revenge on these Mudgalls.
Instant waterfall is like instant ramen. It's delicious. It's just a little bit. SVJ finally getting their revenge on the old mud golems that trolled him so hard earlier.
So Tyerenex is just getting the chime. SaintVonJester is about to get the cube. That'll put him pretty much even as far as items are concerned. So it looks like that puts Tyerenex at a bit of a lead right now, but it's not that big of a lead.
Less than a minute, I would think.
It is less than a minute. Tyerenex enters go mode. We're gonna call it 1 hour 42 minutes. SVJ closing in on the cube. He's got exit now, remember. I believe he's got a hit or two of it. So he'll be able to get out of here. He needs to pick up his cube. He will enter go mode right around the 1 hour 43 minute mark. So it looks like it's right around 1 minute.
Tyerenex not checking anything. He's fine with what he's got and is just go moding this entire place, it looks like.
So the chat melee has requested a recap. You want to go ahead and take?
Alright. Let's see. For towns, we Provoca had Lefane, Elfland had Gaia, Melman had Onrak, Crescent Lake had Melmans, Onrak had Provoca, and Gaia had Elfland, and Lefane had Crescent Lake. The NPCs, the Elf Doctor was Vanilla, and Bahamut and Dr. Hoon swapped places. The King had the ship, the Princess had the crown, Matoya's Cave had a loose crystal, Matoya herself having a ribbon. Astos had the tail, Vicky had the rod. Our second loose item was in the top side of Marsh with the canoe. Castle Ordeals had the loot. Waterfall had the cube, as you just saw. Ice had adamant. The blacksmith had the key. Keylocked Marsh had the TNT, which turned into the ruby. And Sarda had the oxyale. Volcano had a loose herb. And the Elf Prince had the floater. The Circle of Sages had the bottle, which turned into an opal bracelet. And Lefane had the chime.
The Hangry Canuck has the beer. SVJ enters go mode exactly 1 minute after Tyerenex. Very similar equipment, very similar game. This is going to come down to the end.
There's a black shirt for Tyerenex.
Black shirt?
Nice.
Sun's Sunsword, one of the best things you can find before class promotion, besides the Mazman, of course. But Tyerenex definitely has better.
Yep, both of our runners do have the dragon armor. Did we find the Aegis shield? I'm starting to get my races mixed up.
Yeah, Tyerenex has it. It was an ice cave. SVJ reset and walked right by it.
Aegis was actually in Earth Cave.
Right, yeah, he was an Earth 1. And they both,
But-
actually, neither one has it, because Tyerenex wiped after finding it the first time and never went back for it, I don't think. Anyway, we have the Bridge of Destiny for Tyerenex. Get your Bliss RNGs in chat.
Instead, it's Red Hydras, which Tyerenex takes out. We're looking for potentially the Death Machine. He is around here, and he is not there quite yet. SaintVonJester is on his way towards the Mirage Tower with his cube in hand to enter the floating fortress.
And he's not checking any chests either.
Yeah, he's stepping on it.
Definitely the right play to make here.
Level 21 for two of Tyrenex's warriors.
Ooh,
This is an unrunnable golem and sorcerer fight. It's a good fight.
Yeah, the sorcerers are typically not as bad as they usually are in vanilla. In the vanilla game, they have the death touch, and they are a menace to society. But in Randomizer, they're usually nowhere near as threatening unless they get a killer spell list, which, you know, those can be nasty on anything.
High experience fight for SVJ. 4 guards. He's going to try to run. He's trying to make up time as best he can. There's a double Nacho fight for Tyerenex. Another high experience. Great fight. He's going to take it.
Big old plate of nachos right here. Delicious, delicious. There's the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
The Excalibur dispatches of the second Nacho. Over 3,000 30,000 experience for Tyerenex. He does not see the death machine quite yet. It's only steps away. Oh, it popped up in that upper left corner, Melee. You're thinking what I was thinking, weren't you?
When you're that close, and one step is all it takes. But he's able to get, but he makes it through.
Here comes our first Tiamat peak right here. Go ahead, Will.
Temper into the night and a strike from the Excalibur after the temper shot. 4 hits, only 132. Tiamat fights back with a $114 of her own. We're going to move on to round 2. I'm not sure what he used there. Okay, it's going to be a double temper into the night. He's going for melee damage. After the double temper, here's the Excalibur for only 205 after 3 hits. Tiamat continues to attack back at that Excalibur. It's a boxing match between the knight named Cece. Cece strikes for 229. Tiamat still standing. And Tyerenex heals. Tiamat instead goes after Shadow Walker. Bashes him. He's down to 68 HP. Quad X is looking to come. Excalibur from 192. We're not going to get a chance to use the Quad X. It's level 22 for a warrior. And Tyerenex has his 4th Orblet. He's got the loot and the Mystic Key. 1 hour, 48 minutes. He can now enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yeah, Team at 1 had some decent defense, but not a heck of a lot of hit points to go along with it.
Did not see the Death Machine. We have no knowledge of the Fiends, the Fiend refights, and their spell pool at all. 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 45 seconds, we'll call it. Tyerenex enters the Temple of Fiends. SaintVonJester closing in on lighting his 4th orb. We know they were a minute behind earlier. We think that that gap has opened up a little bit in advantage of Tyerenex.
So I noticed what I'm going to call a veteran move by Tyerenex. He used up all of his houses to make menuing for the heal potions a lot easier.
Veteran move it is. We're going to use Fire 3 and a Thor's Hammer. This is a really experience-rich fight. These metal slimes are very vulnerable to fire, especially Fire 3. As the combination of Fire 2 and the Thor's Hammer takes out most of them, this Fire 3 will wipe out the rest of them. As SaintVonJester enters the Bridge of Destiny. This Chad is starting to explode with all those Bless RNGs. We think he's on a similar encounter table, it looks like. But they want to see it. The chat is calling for it, Lyra. They want to see the Death Machine.
Speaking of Death Machine, some unrunnable badmen right here for Tyerenex. This is a pretty interesting fight.
Annoying.
Yeah, badmen tend to have bad things, but they, at the very least, they're not hitting hard this time around.
You can see the crowd is steadily grown for this match here. We are live on Speed Gaming 2. That's twitch.tv/speedgaming2 for anyone watching on YouTube later. As SaintVonJester begins to initiate the fight with Tiamat. There's 4 gas dragons for Tyerenex. He's going to run. He's not going to take this fight. They do not hit hard at all. Wow. He's closing in on the Phantom.
They're starting to hit pretty hard on the Black Wizard, but he's able to get away.
A little bit
SaintVonJester relying on Banesword strats with the Knight.
This Phantom's unrunnable. Look out. Oh! 518 damage from a whack.
Yeah!
He's got to take this fight. He might... Oh!
Oh boy, well... Did Tyerenex get that? I think Tyerenex did get life, yeah.
Yeah. He's got life and life too, so he's... If he can get through the fight... Oh!
Oh boy, never mind.
Hi there,
well, there's a rare sight, the Gatekeeper Phantom.
Well, Tyerenex resets. He re-enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 20 seconds. That cost him a little over 2.5 minutes as SaintVonJester enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited. 1 hour, 51 minutes, 45 seconds.
And I didn't really get that good of a look at their item menu. Neither one restocked on heal potions before going into Topher.
Oh no, this is an all-in, and as I've said in the past races in this tournament, all the leads in the world can mean absolutely nothing before a vicious step.
Once again, behind the scenes, thank you to Thier and Danny3883. They're doing the math behind the scenes as we start to tell the story in the Phantom Wallop Shadow Walker. CC's down to one knee. That Spell Zap, the Red Wizard, that's a fire. That's not going to do it. But an attack from the Excalibur. Oh! 354, the Phantom. SaintVonJester's on the Phantom now. He finds out that information. Fire 2 gets it done. Tyerenex is through. SaintVonJester's starting to get whacked now. Jean is down to 1 HP.
Wow.
And the Excalibur can't get it done. Oh!
Oh, bracelet going to work.
That is some precision there. Left with only one. And there's the mass feud and the validation.
Are you kidding me? Tyerenex walked right by it.
Oh wow!
Game has been changed.
Oh my! What's the math, Danny? What's the math and the difference here? It is 45 seconds. It's less than about 20 seconds. Tyerenex had the lead, re-entering. SaintVonJester finds the Mazmoon. Tyerenex does not have it. They are on the same floor, essentially, in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Tyerenex is up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series, trying to close out Team Vorpal's SaintVonJester. SaintVonJester's back is against the wall. He must win this match to continue in this tournament and force a Game 3 here in the Elite 8. The winner moves on to the Final 4.
And
So
who
I
do
noticed
these
that,
winners
it's-
actually get to play against in the next round?
I'm sorry, what was that, Lyra?
Oh, I was just curious who in the final 4 that either of these runners is going to.
The winner of this round will be taking on Crab. And this was for the bracket stage. There were 15 people in the bracket stage. The Crab Cakes being the 1 seed, the 1 racer who went 5-0, getting the bye. Tyerenex and SaintVonJester, I forget which one's which now. They are seeds 12 and 13. So they, just based off of seeding, they had to make a couple upsets just to get this far.
Yeah, both players qualified through the play-in race. SaintVonJester had to qualify and go through the last chance qualifier just to get to the play-in race. He had to beat a dozen other players and win the match outright. Just to qualify, he's been running roughshod through everything ever since. 253 damage into Lich 2 from Tyerenex. SaintVonJester steps behind. Fire 2 from Tyerenex into Lich 2. For 31 damage, he goes to his second round. Excalibur does not dispatch a Lich. But the Vorpal critical hits for 48. We're going to move on to round 3 against Lich, as SaintVonJester is closing in. Green Medusas. Damage poison.
Oh boy, that's never gonna go away, is it?
264 from the Excalibur is enough, but 194 is after a damage poison from Lich. Tyerenex does have life. 281
What?
backwards?
What the heck? Why did Tyerenex do that?
Here's
okay.
the purple punching bag, part 2!
Now, hold on. Now, SaintVonJester is on Lich 2. I don't think that's a runner agreement to my
Oh,
knowledge.
Quake works on Lich 2 for SVJ.
Wait. SaintVonJester takes the lead. Fell into
Oh
crack.
my.
Oh, wow. That misstep just gave SaintVonJester the lead.
That was a bitch. And well, there's Lich has nuclear. You're down just to the night.
The purple punching bag strikes again.
Lich 2 could potentially cost Tyerenex this match. SaintVonJester is almost a full floor ahead as he's preparing to take on Carry 2. Oh.
Tyerenex definitely fortunate to have gone back for those Elflin spells and getting the Knight with Life 2. Definitely saved the bacon right here, as SVJ is the first one to pull a carry.
Tyerenex hits the Grey Worm. SaintVonJester begins the assault. 4 hits for 66 and a heal helmet. Interesting. Carry wallops the Master. The Master has been eliminated.
No surprise there. That's pretty much what he's there for. He's there to tank a hit.
I believe this is in different encounter tables. 203 from SVJ into Carry 2. Carry 2 comes back with a whole Lightning 2. Tyerenex is preparing for the same fight. Fire 3 from Carry 2. Attack from the Vorpal for SVJ with a critical hit. The Mazmoon for 166, followed up by the legendary Excalibur for 818. Carry 2 is down. Tyerenex is fighting Carry 2. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer, fans. Whether you're live right now on Twitch or whether you're watching later on YouTube, This is what we do. This is the type of competition that we have, and these are the types of broadcasts that we do. And we are awesome.
The voice you're hearing is the lovely Will Cleosis, the voice of the heavens, and with me tonight is Melee Wizard. I am the White Witch Lyra. It's been an honor and a pleasure working with you all tonight. Tornado from Carry 2!
Gotta be kidding me.
Oh boy!
Tyerenex is just getting it. Oh, there goes the Red Wizard. He's down to the Excalibur and the Knight. He's got life too. Carry fast.
Oh boy. Well, better to find it now than on Kraken 2, I guess.
We have multiple people in the chat live on Twitch right now saying hi to anyone watching later on YouTube. SaintVonJester runs into a Big Eye Gray Shark encounter. He's going to take them out. Tyerenex trying to catch back up. The misstep on Lich could be a potential huge story. Great run from Tyerenex. He runs into some seafood. There's level 25 for SVJ as he prepares for the battle with Kraken 2. He's gonna bring back the Master. Same sort of strategy, Melee.
Yeah, and moving the Knight down to the 3rd slot to try to keep Kraken's sights away from him for a little bit. And moving the Massmune onto the Knight.
1 hour 58 minutes and change. Kraken 2 has been pulled by SVJ. Tyerenex pulls Kraken 2.
Oh boy, we're neck and neck now.
Defense sword for SVJ. He's also firing tempers. Tyerenex loses the Master. It's the same sort of strategy to the Lightning 2.
It's, just from the number difference, it was a melee hit on the Knight for about a couple hundred.
Okay, heal 3 comes up for SVJ in round 2. Tyerenex trying to conserve spell charges. He's going with an ice 3. Kraken has paralysis touch. That's paralysis touch on top of that. And he blasted the Master.
12 hits, 1,517 damage. Ow!
Red Wizard's gone. He's knocking. Kraken 2 is knocking all these light warriors halfway to Ashwabanon, but Kraken 2 is down for SVJ 159. Tyerenex continues to bring up the fight that the Knight must survive. SVJ is through. He's on. Oh gosh, 10 hits for 789. 419 for Tyerenex. Oh, Kraken 2 misses, but the Excalibur gets no. 489. Quadax misses. Finish him, Tyerenex. 624 and it's good. SVJ now is closing on to team at 2.
The Blaster Master is real for SVJ.
Yeah, Kraken 2 is not messing around.
Tyerenex, I believe, is down to 1 life, 2 left. And that's if he's got him. SVJ, Tiamat 2. The last of the Fiend refights before the final boss and some steps in the middle. Tyerenex has made it to that floor now. Massmune from SaintVonJester, 2 hits, 2 damage.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Black Shark from SVJ.
Not good.
Fade from SVJ. That's a Sidewinder for 116 and slope 2. But it misses. Doesn't matter. Tyerenex has pulled Tiamat 2 now.
I think that slow 2 is aimed at the 2nd Red Wizard anyway.
Yeah, it was. Tiamat fires lightning 2. There's a lot of those in the pool. SVJ likes to see that. Tyerenex starts to temper and defend for him. There's a fade from SVJ.
Oh, wow. And Tiamat 2 is down. And makes it through to the Chaos floor. Oh boy, this is a race, folks.
SVJ just passed the 2-hour mark, is about to pull Chaos. We're going to get an exact time on this. Once he gets ready, we think that Tyerenex is going to be quickly able to take out Tiamat 2. Ooh, 5 hits for 194 to Tyerenex. That was his Knight. But the Excalibur comes back for 119. SVJ moving his equipment around.
SaintVonJester's going Vorpal on the Knight.
He is.
You know it.
Massmune is on Gene with a J. Chaos has pulled 2 hours, 1 minute, 15 seconds, we're going to call it. Temper charge is coming out for SVJ trying to win this. He must win this match. Chaos attacks physically. I think that was into the Master, and the Master's been eliminated. Chaos fires Ice 2 into SaintVonJester's Light Warriors. Tyerenex, 184 to Tiamat, starting to struggle a little bit. Another Lightning 2. There's a strike from the Excalibur, does not get it done. Tyerenex starts to heal a little bit more. SVJ trying to take out Chaos. Once again, he must win this match. Tyerenex brings out a wall to try to get through. Another strike from the Excalibur for 393 is good.
Oh,
Chaos
there's
has
a Cure 4. Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Gene continues to defense, and there's an Ice 3 for chip damage, 2 hours, 2 minutes. Tyerenex closing in on this fight himself, but he gets an encounter. He's slowed down. More advantage for SVJ. There's the Ice 3 from Chaos. 3 warriors still standing. SVJ fires back with an Ice 3 for 60. There's the Vorpal. 4 hits for 450! The game changer's starting to change this game and take control for SaintVonJester. More chip damage coming, it looks like. Ice 3s, everything he's got. He's unloading the barrels of everything he's got. Ice 3 for 70. Chaos blasts it, and Gene with the G is gone. But the Vorpal for 597!
Wow!
2 hours, 2 minutes, 47 seconds. SaintVonJester ties his best of 3 at 1-1.
Game
Wow.
has been changed for SVJ. We have ourselves a game 3, everyone.
Wow.
GG's in the chat are flooding us.
And
And,
this,
and Tyerenex
yeah.
is on chaos.
And this was so close, man. Just as SaintVonJester finishes, Tyerenex enters the chaos fight, immediately going Bane Sword with Master.
Right to the Bane Sword. Ice 2 from Chaos. And the defense and the tempers are going out into the night. Tyerenex does know that he has not won this match. He's going to try to continue on.
Ran out of temper charges, though.
Fire 3 for more chip damage. We know this Chaos has Cure 4. He can attack too. Spell Zap's down on 1 knee for Tyerenex. More chip damage. No sign of a Power Gauntlet or anything else. There's the Cure 4. Tyerenex starts to heal himself. We're working on getting SaintVonJester in here behind the scenes, but right now we're sticking with Tyerenex. He's earned this. Remember, it was Tyerenex who took off the defending champion Edgeworth earlier on. There's the Ice 3 from Chaos. There's something from Spell Zap, I don't know, but there's the Vorpal for 256. That's how SaintVonJester won this match. It was with the Game Changer. Another attack from Tyerenex. 544 from the Game Changer. Chaos not having it. He eliminates Shadow Walker. It's down to the Knight, and it's down to the Red Wizard. There's a Cure 4 into the Red Wizard. But Chaos says, nah, back down on 1 knee, Spell Zap. 412, doesn't matter. The Game Changer for Tyerenex takes out Chaos with an official SRL time. 2 hours, 4 minutes, 16 seconds. And the chat starts to explode for Tyerenex now in one heck of a match. And let's see, Lyra, do we have SVJ here?
We do.
All right, take it, Lyra.
Now, yeah. Congratulations, SVJ. We talked a little bit about this earlier. How are you feeling, right?
I found the floaters so late, and I know Ty's style. I know his style. I thought he was gonna go dive. I thought he dove volcano so early, and I found the herb. I was like, oh man, I hope this does not turn into the floater. And so as I went down, there was a floater. I was like, oh, I'm so behind. Then the cube dive, 3, 4, 5 times. Then I left without it. We must have been in over the same time to pull ahead like that.
Yeah, it turns out, for one, you actually got the floater before Tyerenex did.
What?
Mhm.
You were the first one to go into Volcano.
Wow.
We are also joined by Tyerenex. Tyerenex, can you hear us? It's Will. We're not quite sure yet. We'll see if he gets everything together. Let's go over some hard numbers. Tyerenex entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited first. 1 hour, 48 minutes, 45 seconds. Ran into the Phantom, who obliterated him. Reset. Re-entered 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 18 seconds. SVJ entered some 20 seconds later, 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 40. A misstep from Ty. He's working on his audio right now. Gave SaintVonJester the lead entering the fire floor. So those are some hard numbers in this great match. SVJ, it's Will. Congratulations, buddy.
Vorpal!
Back up against the wall. You switched to the Vorpal for Chaos. You fired off some tempers. Tell us about the final battle.
It was... I thought Ty was, again, so far ahead of me, like he likes to dive Volcano early, and I was like, I found the floater, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go mode it. I go moded Earth, I go moded She Shrine, I go moded Sky Palace, and I'm like, he hasn't finished yet. Okay, I something's wrong with Topher here. So I went in, did the dang Woo strats on Lich, gave him some Quake, and went down. I was just not having any luck baning anything. I wasn't getting any quakes off. It's just like, but yeah, my doormat did his job. You know, he did. He was able to, you know, suck up some hits there, here and there. Carrie was the big one for me. She and obviously Dahamit, the Mazamune did nothing to him, so I was able to fade him down, which is good. But yeah, I'm surprised. I am shocked, honestly. Ty is a great player, and wow, we're going to game 3. Yes. My one glass slipper is still not broken. The Cinderella story continues.
Tyerenex, it's Will. Can you hear me? Nope, not yet. Go ahead, Lyra.
So, SVJ, now that we're sitting here in front of literally hundreds of people, 300 to be exact, how has the journey been for you? The last chance qualifier to the Elite 8, and now you're just one win away from the Final 4.
It's insane. It's amazing. Never in my life did I expect to get this far. You know, I'm just having fun, having a good time, and if my champion heard me screaming at all those unrunnable things I could not run from, and I see I'm dropping a lot of stuff, so I apologize if I'm getting a little robotic, but it's been a trip, and I've had a lot of support along the way from Team Vorpal, from, you know, the community, from my community, you know, from Tyerenex himself, you know, One Fine Day, Crab Cakes, Edgeworth, these people who have been guiding me and helping me, and it's, like I said, we're going to game 3. This is 1-1. It's a thing.
Yes, SVJ, you just said it yourself. You are carrying the flag of Team Vorpal. It's not the Enforcer, it's not the leader, it's not the Dragon Slayer, it's not the bad guy, it's not anyone else. It's you, the Saint Von Juggernaut. Congratulations to you. Tell us a little bit about the waterfall.
So when I saw the unrunnable mud golems, I was like, okay, well, I'll try. You know, obviously they're not fire. I had nothing on my fighter. I was like, okay, Quake's working. Okay, let's hopefully Quake him down. And encounter after counter was mud golem, frost. It's like, so, but I finally got in there and I got the cue. I was like, I really don't want to come back. So I tried to exit out of it, and I decided that if I couldn't Quake down the unrunnable mud golems, I'd just come back later. And that's what happened. So, a little disappointed that I couldn't get out of there in one try, but I had the counter table again fighting against me. The first match was the same. Tyerenex and I talked about it. The second one, this one was even worse. And it was just like, ugh. But, you know, we powered through it, and it was amazing. And I'm looking forward to game 3. I know the fans are looking forward to game 3. Yeah. It's good to go.
Question from chat, SVJ. Braxis, one of the volunteers for the tournament. What was in your mind when you saw the rod and you decided to go into marsh first instead of...
It's a gamble. It's like, you know, I was like, maybe I should just try this to see what happens. And sure enough, the canoe was there. I was like, okay, now we can do stuff. We can go to Waterfall. We can go to Castle Ordeals. We can do these things, you know. And I did. Something was keeping me away from Earth. And as far as Earth, I do apologize to Falconic, who's probably watching. I did go up and over, which I'm sure you yelled at me for.
Oh, we did.
Yes,
we did.
yes,
We did.
There was emphasis made on that. Yes,
And I'm sure he's going to talk to me about it as soon as this interview's over. I'm going to get an earful, and I apologize. But I was just like, you know, Tyerenex wasn't finished. He wasn't finished. I'm like, I gotta go. And so I did. And that's what I did. You know.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
hello, Tyerenex. GG.
No, it wasn't.
GG.
Yeah, Topher was pretty much a big story by itself. Tyerenex, you were the first one to get in. You weren't that... SaintVonJester wasn't that far behind. First thing, Phantom ended up being a surprise gatekeeper. Just whacking everything. And if anything, just that wipe to the... that reset, at least, to the Phantom pretty much made it neck and neck between you, the two of you.
Or me fighting Lich 2 twice.
There was that as well.
I've literally never. I've probably played 200 FFR seeds. I've never.
Yeah, that also played a huge role. Another thing was one specific chest that SaintVonJester happened to check post Phantom that had the Mass Mune in it.
Yeah, incentivized left chest had a Mazamune.
So that was a huge find right at the very end as well. And it was after the for lack of a better term, blunder at Lich 2, SaintVonJester pretty much had the lead, but it was real close the entire way through.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked I went in first.
I thought you found that floater so early.
Yeah, I was in the same thought because I did Volcano third. I had done just about everything else, like walk to Sarda, full clear,
I did too.
all that stuff. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know. That was bad.
Yeah, this seed kind of... If you didn't find that herb early, this seed sent you everywhere.
Yeah, and
So,
the magic sucked, and I don't know. Just, it was nice to class change early, but yeah,
I
I
was
didn't
at
class
level
change
7.
until I got to Vorpal. I kind of forgot to do that. Oops.
SBJ, it's Will. You took on Carrie too. How did you get past her?
I beat her down. I don't remember doing anything else. I had my doormat take a hit, and
Or was it Lich? Who'd you quake?
Lich 2.
Lich 2. Okay. Lich 2. My apologies. I knew it was awesome. Whatever it was.
Yeah, I gave Lich 2 some Quake, and then I beat down Carrie, I beat down Kraken, and I faded Tahaman out of existence.
Yeah, we saw that Kraken 2 was packing heavily. I think knocked out your master for like, it was like 1,517 damage, I think it was. That was
something
insane.
like that. I mean, I needed a new doormat. That's why his name was Matt. So, yeah, he did exactly what his name was intended for. So, I'm not sad about it whatsoever.
Yeah, that seems to be his role in a lot of races in this round.
Coming up tomorrow, it's going to be live right here in the Speed Gaming family of networks. It has been forced. Game 3, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We don't know the channel quite yet, but it will be here and it will be live. One shall stand and one shall fall. One will move forward into the Final Four, and one will join myself over in the Crescent Lake retirement home with all the sages. I'll have whatever it is that they need ready, along with Caleb, Falconic, and everyone else who's there, and all the other players that both of you actually have eliminated, really, from this tournament. We're going to go ahead and close up shop here fairly soon. We're going to move on to final thoughts. Let's start with you, SVJ. You forced the Game 3 back up against the wall tonight. You lost the match earlier today. You take this one. It's do or die for you again. Are you always on this roller coaster or what?
No, I mean, it's like I said, it's, I play my hardest. I give everyone, all my opponents, from the last chance, from the beginning, from Asher to Tyerenex, I give everyone my 110%. I don't quit. Even if I wanted to press that forfeit button so bad when I hit that waterfall, but I didn't. And I just I will never quit. I will never stop. And if I lose, I lose. And I will cheer on everyone else that gets into the Final Four, because everyone who is in the Elite 8 deserves to be in. So it's going to be a great, great match tomorrow. Dope.
Congratulations to you, SVJ. I'll be there as well. Tyerenex, you took the first game, led 1-0. Looked like you were kind of feeling pretty good. Couldn't quite finish out SVJ here. You're moving on to the elimination match tomorrow. You've already taken out the defending champion. Is that enough for you? Or is moving forward to the Final Four, you're ready to go?
I don't know. If you would have asked me a month and a half ago, my goal was to make the top 8 when the whole thing started. So, yes, in a weird way, but I don't know. If, blowing this one, that's gonna hurt. I'm probably not even gonna watch it back. I know what I did wrong. So, we'll just see how it goes tomorrow. 4 o'clock should be fun.
Yep, and the winner of that match will face off against the undefeated #1 seed, Crab Cakes. How are you guys feeling about that potential matchup?
I'm gonna beat her.
Not lacking in confidence, I see. Wow.
If there is no hotter player in Final Fantasy Randomizer right now than SaintVonJester as he carries that flag and the torch for Team Vorpal as they are all behind him in his quest to win the 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. Melee Wizard, final thoughts, my friend.
This is the kind of race you love to watch. It had the runners going every which way. It had high drama at the end. You always enjoy seeing races like this. Comes down right to the end.
Yeah, route divergence, route convergence. Two great players that have earned every moment of the time that they're getting right here with all the fans, with the hundreds of fans, and the thousands of views that we get later over on YouTube. The Baroness! Lyra, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Special thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting this tournament. Special thanks to the fans for keeping us on our toes. Special thanks to Danny and Thier, whose first time streaming, for joining us tonight. It's been an adventure. It was a 2-hour-long adventure, but we're definitely here for you every single time we can be. And all I can say is, I love you all. Thank you for being here every single time.
Both Melee and Lyra took the two things that I wanted to say. This is Final Fantasy Randomizer, and it is awesome. Spoken by Melee Wizard, in the design, what the development team has done, it all starts with them. Without them, we can't do too much. And without you, the fans, nothing more important than you. We can't do these shows, and we can't have this great time with the big smile that's on the Baroness's face right now, because I can see it. She's sitting right next to me. And thank you to Speed Gaming, certainly. Carito helped us get set up earlier. He's done such a great job this entire tournament. 7 weeks I think we're going on now. We certainly can't thank you enough, as well as Speed Gaming and Adirondack Rick and everyone else who makes this happen. For Tyerenex, SaintVonJester, the quest moves forward. The elimination game will be tomorrow. That will be June 2nd, 2019 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. For Danny3883, Fear, Melee Wizard, the Baroness, Lyra SRL, I am the Smooth Talker. My name is Wickliosis. Thank you for joining us. And remember, revive the power of the orb.